rubber formulation, in particular a general purpose like NR, EPDM, and in case of specialty, we look at the nitrile rubber. So the hardness specified becomes crucial because once you fix the hardness, you work around that particular parameter. Because in the line call out, the type and the class is specified, not the hardness. Hardness for the user is necessary for a number of reasons. We will look into all that at the right time. And all we know as of now is hardness tells you what is the amount of solid character that product will have. Of course, rubber comes with the good amount of flexibility. Flexibility goes with the softness. Hardness goes with the solid character. So how much of solid character this product should have? And as a result, one gets an idea of the modulus, the stiffness, and so on. Right. So that way, NR being the first candidate in the general purpose rubber, you have 6 compounding recipe. So the hardness difference in 5 units. Hardness specified in IRHT. Fourier, IRHT are interchangeably used. International Rubber Hardness Bureaumeter. So the grade of rubber used to is a sheet. Sheet, and this 6 recipe they must have designed for open mill mixing. Open mill mixing containing peptizer. So with the peptizer open mill mixing, the mastication becomes faster. So peptizer, it could be Renacid 7, that is the zinc salt of pentachlorothiophenol. The pentachlorothiophenol itself is used in certain cases. And as we said in one of the classes, certain organometallic complexes, they also added to the peptizer composition. And as a result, for a dosage of 0.1 pHr, the effect is much better and it is efficient. Effector and it's also efficient. So high styrene resin, we know in SBR solution polymer, you must have studied. High styrene resin adds to the hardness of a certain rubber formulation. And that being a thermoplastic, it helps in the processing. It flows smoothly and it controls the nerviness so that film formation is a lot easier. On standing, this high styrene, it being a thermoplastic, it solidifies, it adds to the hardness. That is for the 90 hardness. And the remaining up to 80 IRHT, we put them under soft vulcanicity. Right? Zinc oxide as a pure activator, stearic acid. So that is a combination we are quite comfortable with. The current formulations, they look at zinc oxide of a lower concentration, 3 parts, in certain cases 1.5 and 2. Because zinc oxide, a higher quantity is desired in certain cases, that is for resilience. But 5 BHR is not going to make it because NR basically is resilient. So this activator combination is just appropriate. You have this anti-ozonant Filflex 13. That's a trade name. Filflex 13 is a trade name. That is a anti-ozonant. That is a IPPD, right? IPPD, 6PPD, they are interchangeably. Even though they have a certain difference in their impact in certain formulations. So in place of IPPD, 6PPD can also be used. They are not identical, please note. So in respect of anti-ozonant, make a note, listen very carefully. That is not covered here, but better make a note. Anti-ozonant, they are governed by some 5 or 6 parameters. Number 1, how well they get into the rubber. And 2, how well they migrate to the surface. And number 3, how they react with the deleterious ozone attack. And number 4, what kind of reaction products form? Number 4. And number 5, this reaction products, do they stay on the surface or get wiped off? All right. And number 6 is the molecular size of the active component, molecular size. Number 7 is naturally the cost. Okay, so these are the consideration. What stays longer in the rubber need not give effective protection, because effective protection meaning it has to be chemically active. Anti-ozonants are dynamic case. Dynamic meaning cyclic loading involved, like tire sidewall, tire tread. And in case of V-belt, conveyor belt, they are all, they undergo some cyclic load. Under cyclic loading, certain part of the surface, product surface, they are specifically exposed to the atmospheric oxygen or ozone. And what is the quantity that is added here? Just about 0.5. All right. And the next one is the DDQ. Regarding the DDQ, we discussed in the last class. And this DDQ, whatever we discussed in the anti-ozonant, it applies to antioxidant. In case of DDQ, we said it is polymerized. So its performance depends on the extent of polymerization, right? The 6-PPD, anti-ozonant, antioxidant, in combination, they give protective cover to the hydrocarbon rubber like NR. Why NR? Because we look at the cross-linking for every 100 to 400 monomer. One cross-linker for every 100 to 400 monomer. You can visualize the remaining unsaturation is still available. So this unsaturation, they can promote oxidation and ozone crack. All right. So this unsaturation, why we leave the unsaturation? Is it for the functionality? No. We want to leave a certain part of the rubber uncross-linked so that that imparts a flexibility, resilience. All right. The real rubberiness it comes from balancing the cross-link density and the uncross-linked part, that is the molecular weight between the two adjacent cross-links. Molecular weight of the rubber between two neighboring cross-links. Okay, and this molecular weight has a direct influence on the shear modulus, right? So, what will be the deformation? The rubber chains internally, their response is shear. All right. So the shear modulus is controlled by the molecular weight between the two neighboring crosslinks. All right. So the crosslinks are necessary in order to restrict the mobility. At the same time, too much of crosslinks is not going to give the flexibility. So one has to balance this. That is why we say optimize the crosslink density. You follow? This is very important. Make a note. All right. So the next ingredient is the filler. So in case of filler, what they have used is the N330. So the structure and surface area, they are of a normal this thing grade. Okay? If the numeral first numeral repeats in the second numeral also, it implies that this particular grade is from a normal grade. All right. So in place of 330, we may have a 347. Make a note. 347, 339, 375. But N remains. N is more of a the effect of this filler on the rate of cross-linking. That remains. So it is the, the three-digit number that describes overall the surface area and the structure. Friends, in in the assignment given, and some of you may have referred to the carbon black technology, the science behind the carbon black, etc. So for them, this may not, this may further reinforce their understanding. When it comes to the carbon black, the furnace grade is quite popular. So what we are discussing is the furnace grade and the furnace grade iodine number and the nitrogen surface area, iodine number IAN, and DBP, iodine number absorption, AD, absorption, that is on the surface. Absorption, oil absorption. So that is to the bulk. That is a DBP number, DBP number. DBP number, it tells you the structure. Iodine number tells you the surface area. Surface area reciprocally related to the particle size. Larger the surface area, finer the particle. Alright. And the N330, rightly called HI, high abrasion furnace. High abrasion furnace. It is just high only. Meaning you have two levels above. You have ISA, SA. Alright. And we'll come back to this carbon black after completing the formulations. And next comes the extending filler, China clay. China clay. So you have a hard clay and the soft clay. Hard clay, its effect on the rubber is much more intense. Soft clay just remains as a filler. It does not have any reinforcement. Okay? And in clay also, you have certain modification. That is to make the modification or the filler to be accepted by the rubber. Okay? There are amine treated, silane treated, Okay, so that is one variety in the non-black filler, non-reinforced. If you use silica, then it becomes a reinforced. Silica, hydrocarbon rubber, even today we use a coupling agent. Second, chemical coupling agents are necessary. In case of China clay, we don't look at any such reinforcement. All right. So next is the calcium carbonate, otherwise known as a whiting. What is its job? As we said in the initial class, simply extend the rubberiness window. Extend the rubberiness without diluting the basic properties of the rubber. Fortunately, NR is known for its strain-induced crystallization, SIC. Therefore, even if we dilute or any additive that weakens a network, it is not going to impair the durability of the rubber product. All right? And whiting China clay, they are used, and of course in whiting also, which is nothing but a calcium carbonate. The one looks at some reinforcement. That is the precipitated calcium carbonate. Precipitation makes the particle finer. Right? In China clay, we said the surface treatment adds to the reinforcement. In whiting, precipitated calcium carbonate. Right? So that makes the particle size finer, and as a result, a finely distributed whiting, its negative impact on the rubber properties is not all that much. Okay? One can add a little more weight. So the quantity added here is a 60 to 100. Then you have the process oil. So naphthenic oil. So the formulator has been very specific in using a naphthenic oil. Naphthenic oil and NR, if you ask me, that is not the best combination. Because NR aromatic oil is fine. So why naphthenic oil? Uh, for the simple reason, uh, I don't want the rubber compound to become scorchy on repeated milling or sheeting or repeated warming. If I have aromatic oil, it can affect my rate of crossing or the induction period. Right? So naphthenic oil, it does not impact. So with the oil and the whiting, what is that I use? And the calcium carbonate, we said in one of the classes, it is a partitioning agent, anti-tack, right? So NR is known for its tackiness, and with the whiting, we are countering its tackiness. So that is not appropriate. Therefore, I add a tackifying resin, Ca resin. So Ca resin, Coumaron Indian resin. Make a note. Coumaron Indian resin, Ca resin. Just 2 parts is good enough. This Ca resin, uh, it does have some influence on the cross-linking chemistry. Right? Ca resin has effect on cross-linking chemistry. All right. 2 parts, it is perfectly okay. It has only physical influence, no chemical. All right. Then, with the resin, I further counter with the wax addition. Wax, please note, wax one part with the chemical antioxidant, chemical antiozonant. So these three, they form a nice synergism. So what is the role of wax? That is for the static protection. Static protection. And secondly, we expect this wax to migrate to the surface. Right? One. And two, the CA resin tackifier we add and we counter it with the wax. Right? So, are we not giving a medicine and also poison? Paraffin wax is a poison for tack. Whereas CA resin is a medicine for tackiness. All right? And wax, what is the quantity we are adding? Just about 1 point. That is not going to affect the tackiness anyway. It does have synergistic interaction with the anti-ozone. You follow? So that is about the master batch. So up to the paraffin wax that describes the master batch. What is this master batch? That is simply withholding pure package, right? And you add all the additive. And industry, what they do, they prepare the master batch in the internal mixer. Listen very carefully. Internal mixer, last class we said one can follow the mixing time, the dump temperature, and the energy of mixing. Alright? What is special about the internal mixer? There are two gains. Make a note. Two gains. One, short mixing time, and more amount of mixing that is too clearly visible. And the third one is a clean system. A clean system. And open mill mixing, you know, very fine powder, they escape in the atmosphere. Right? Whereas internal mixing, it happens in a closed chamber, and one can. So there is a lot more science in the internal mixing, even though that is beyond the scope of rubber compounding. I must tell you, internal mixing. In case of the open mill mixing, they are plain pair of rolls. Internal mixing, they are rotor. Rotor, they are not cylindrical rotor. They have a cog. Okay? So they have a unique surface feature. Someone, others call it as wing. So like wing, it could be two-winged, four-winged, etc. So this wings, what they do, and as they counter rotate, this wings, they can shear the rubber to a greater extent. Okay, at the same time in a controlled manner. So shearing happens greater extent and in a controlled manner, and one can regulate the extent of mastication, mixing, shearing, etc. So, a lot of advantages of that. And open mill mixing also we do the two in stages. We prepare the master batch, store it, on a cold mill, we add the derivatives. Why on the cold mill? Because they are all chemically active, and if you overdo the warming of the rubber stock, they may become scorchy. So, scorchy meaning you may not drop the compound in the scorched fashion when you prepare the mixer first time. Alright. This scorchiness is definitely an issue when you do repeated warming. Later stage, you consume some quantity, preserve the remaining compound, maybe to be used after a month or 2 months or so. That time, the compound should be plastic enough. Okay, it has to be elastoplastic. All right. And if there is any tendency of scorch, what does it mean? That may spoil the entire compound, and I cannot use it in product making. Okay? So that's why in the industry they encourage this master batching and final batch. If you add the curatives, it qualifies as a final batch. Some call it as a finished mixing. So you have finished the mixing. Final batch is MB and MB. MB master batch. Final batch after the additional. What is the curative package? Again, I have a thiazole, MBTS, and a thiuram combination. Thiazole is the primary accelerator, thiuram a secondary or a booster. Secondary or the booster. Thiazole, what does it do? It delays the cross link. All right. Once the cross linking at the rubber allyl hydrogen is sufficiently activated, and I have created the right situation in the rubber to respond to the insertion of the sulfur, that time TMTD also promotes the thiazole. After all, this MBTS, TMT and sulfur combination. By the way, TMT stands for TMTD, not TMTM. Okay? It is a disulfide, tetramethyl thiuram disulfide. What is the quantity? Just about 0.2, right? And you can visualize the importance of the dispersion. Just 0.2, right? This is a next only to the peptizer, right? So peptizer 0.1 we saw, and the secondary accelerator or a booster 0.2, right? You can visualize how important the dispersion should be. Okay, so dispersion, and this TMTD, right? Active content, right? And also the uh, the dosage, right? So the point is the pill cure TMTD, it need not contain 100% of active content, maybe 80 or 95% active. The remaining 10 to 20 points is to couple of things. Number one, a carrier, inert carrier. This inert carrier, it allows storage. It adds to the shelf life. And number three, it can get into the rubber easily, right? Get into the rubber easily. Because dispersion is strongly required for ingredient like booster, that too of a lesser quantity. Okay? And finally comes the cross-linker, namely sulfur. Sulfur, MBTS TMTD 1.5. If you combine 1.5, sulfur 1.5. Alright. So wherever you have the cross-linker and the accelerator of an equal dosage, right, it qualifies as a semi. Right? We are quite familiar with the conventional. See, the conventional, listen very carefully, conventional cube will have sulfur of 2.5 and a sulfonamide of 0.6 or zero point 0.8 pHR, not more than that. 0.6 or a 0.8 pHR, right? Plus, the formulation may contain an inhibitor. May contain inhibitor. Why inhibitor? Listen very carefully. Even though that is not covered here, just make it as a side note. This is very important. So, conventional cure, zero point 0.6 parts of a CBS or a NOBS, sulfonamide. Why a PVA is okay there? But there are formulations without PVA. But certain formulations contain PVA. The reason being that is one sulfonamide accelerator that does the job of thiurum and the thiazole. Thiurum and the thiazole. Right? And in case of cross-linking, what is primary? Primary concern, induction time. That is the scorch time. Considerable scorch safety and also rate of cure. Right? So induction time, you should remain, it has to prefer the sulfurating agent. Right? In the process, some fraction, if it enters the rate of cross-linking energy, so it has crossed the energy barrier and the cross-linking is likely to happen, right? So that is a possibility and a number of industries have faced this problem. As a result, there came this PVA. What does the PVA do? Even if the energy barrier is crossed, sulfurating agent, this pre-vulcanization inhibitor will prevent the cross-linking or the scotch. You follow? Yeah, this is very important. This disulfide, the thiazole in the disulfide form, MBTS. You may ask, sir, I could as well use MBT. Of course, MBT, MBTS, in the rate of cross-linking, they behave identical. The difference comes in the scarce safety. Okay, I should have this scarce safety. In case of the sulfonamide, they come with the enormous scarce safety, but it is likely that some of them may have undergone a higher thermal history. Sulfurating agent would have formed, leading to unnecessary, undesirable, incipient cross-linking. Okay, that is what we call as the scorch. All right. We look at the cure properties. Two properties. Cost time is a process safety. Two time tells you the final the or that is any active cross-linking chemical conversion is complete, right? And please note it is called a T90. It is not. It does not say T100. Ideally, if it is completed, it should be 100%. But here we talk about 90%, meaning the 10% additional cross-linking will happen on storage or on removal. So 90%, whatever the heat content that is present, what is the heat? 160 degree, that is the temperature. So the corresponding thermal energy is given. Okay. So scorch time, least in case of 70 and 80 hardness, and best in case of a low hardness, 40 and 50, 2.9 minutes, or zero point 0.9, meaning it could be rounded to 3 minutes. Okay. So cure time, and the last one is the maximum torque, that tells you how much of solid character has been created in converting the plasto-elastic to viscoelastic. So what is the torque? It ranges from 28 torque units up to 91, 80 horsepower. Right? Please note this maximum torque, it is tested at a temperature of 160 degree. So this torque, higher torque, will come only after we have introducing cross-link. All right. You have the last recipe of a hardness 90 IRHT, right? So we may expect that torque value should be highest. That is not the case here, because at 160 degree, the high styrene resin continues to remain as a soft, right? So whatever the torque I notice record here, it is coming from the rubber cross links as well as the filler, particulate filler, not resinous filler like a high styrene resin. This is very important, all right? And you have the physical properties, right? So physical properties, all along you may have studied, right? NR is the best polymer to have the high tensile strength at room temperature. But what we see here, they all have a tensile strength less than 15 MPa, right? 15 MPa. Why so? The reason being, I have extended the formulation. I have added a more diluents. More diluents. What are the diluents? China clay, whiting. Okay, China clay and whiting. They are the diluents are extending fluids. Right? To that extent, the product made out of this formulation, right? They may not serve in the critical application. It is something like disposable rubber product, like a dust cover, like a bellows, okay, all working at a room temperature. Okay, dust cover, bellows, or a bush, okay, working at a room temperature. You understand? And where do we use them? We use them under non-critical application. Right? And what is that we expect out of this formulation or the product? It has to be rubbery. What is rubbery? To support large recoverable deformation. And in this case, the deformation in terms of the elongation. So look at the elongation, very 300%, 700%, right? And the modulus, it tells you higher the modulus, so better the solid character, or it implies a good elongation and high modulus means a toughness. But in this case, the modulus, only the 80 Fourier gives you the good modulus. How we obtain the 80 Fourier? So that is very well answered in the pillar loading. Pillar 55 N330, 55 parts. So that is a reinforcing filler. And where it is captured? It is captured in the 300% model as 12 MPa. Even though it gives a low tensile strength, right? 14 MPa, as far as NR is concerned, is not the best tensile. All right. So look at the modulus. 12 MPa, the best modulus of this 6 formulation. Okay. The least is the 40 hardness. Because I haven't used any reinforcing filling. Okay. So 12. So 12 is the modulus and the good elongation, meaning I have a tough rubber product. Tough rubber product, it is durable. I can expect a high tear strength, high abrasion resistance. Abrasion resistance requires a high modulus. Okay, so that is about this particular set of the recipe. All right. Now I take you to similar set of formulations on synthetic rubber. That is page number 25. Page number 25. Yes. So page number 25, not recipe. So this describes the carbon black. So the carbon black, so we said iodine number, DBP, etc. So you have compressed DBP. So compressed DBP is what? That is the structure remaining in the rubber product after mixing, after you have made the product. Right? The DBP is a regular on the filler. The CDBP, of course, it is done on the filler, but after giving certain amount of compression. Why we compress the carbon black? We break loosely held agglomerates. We break the loosely held agglomerates and we break the secondary structure. So what we measure is the primary structure. So the difference between CDBP, that is the compressed DBP, and DBP, it tells you how much of secondary structure is present. Okay, and if they lie closer, smaller the the difference between CDBP and the DBP. So better the filler influencer and your the carbon black manufacture. You also have CTAB. This CTAB, cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. So this is a quaternary ammonium salt, cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. So what does it say? So it tells you it is a kind of the measure of surface area. Okay? Measure of surface area. And this size being uh, bigger compared to the nitrogen. So what does it say? It gives a better indication of extent of interaction with the rubber. Okay. So even though nitrogen iodine, they describe the filler surface area is necessary, no doubt. That is not sufficient. We should also know what is the uh, nature of, I mean, what is the extent of interaction with the rubber? That is effectively captured from the C tab. This C tab is a primary measure in case of silica. Silica, is gaining popularity in place of a carbon black for a number of reasons. Carbon black for the furnace grade, silica, precipitated silica. Okay. So for silica C tab, it gives a good measure. And for the carbon black, uh, often it is not specified, but this particular standard covers this C tab. Okay, fine. And when it comes to the carbon black, as I said, earlier, the reinforcing filler, I can have normal structure and the high structure. N234 is a high structure ISA. High structure ISA. N339 high structure HA. N347, N351, N375. All these are high structure HA. Yes. Right. And what is the base formulation? It is a blend of NRBR. Blend of NRBR. What is special about BR? You must have studied. That is the best example for the solution polymer. And that is the best rubber known for its resilience. And the three, in combination with the other hydrocarbon rubber like NR and SBR, it gives the best abrasion resistance. So the carbon black added is 60 parts, oil is 25. And what is the accelerator? Morpholine sulfonamide. MDS morpholine dense thiazyl sulfonamide. Sulfur is 2 point. Okay. So take a close look at other parameters. You yourself can make out how within the uh, particle size, within the given particle size, by varying the structure, how I can vary the other vulcanized rubber properties. Right? You take N220234. 234 is HAF, I'm sorry, high structure ISA. How does it matter? It matters a lot, right? In terms of the fatigue life. So fatigue life in kilocycle, 150 plus. And I still increase the structure. Further, there is increase in the fatigue life. Other properties they suffer. Yes, tensile strength marginally suffers. Tear strength also, but fatigue life improves. What about HAF? HAF also the trend continues, fatigue life. But look at the N351. So that is not unidirectional. N351 specifically gives a low fatigue life. Right? Low fatigue life. Right? What is its resilience? Resilience is better, 66. So N351 high resilience means what? High resilience, right, combines with the low tangent delta. So low tangent delta means, listen very carefully, heat buildup is less, meaning a low rolling resistance. The tire companies these days, they are very particular about the low rolling resistance. Low rolling resistance. Low rolling resistance means fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency. There are three essential parameters that govern the choice of filler. Three essential parameters. Number one, make a note, abrasion resistance. That tops the list, abrasion resistance. Number two, wet grip. That comes for the safety, wet grip. Right? Wet grip. And number three is the low rolling resistance. That is for the fuel safety. Low rolling resistance for the fuel safety. Right. And carbon black. Why carbon black? Reinforcement, particulate filler reinforcement. So carbon black plus silica or silica alone, lot of combination. In addition, the base polymer combination, and you can also manipulate this trend with the oil we choose. Right? Oil. So in the hardness specified, we saw naphthenic oil. So when it comes to the particular tire tread application, what is the oil we use? Aromatic oil. Please note. Why? Aromatic oil, it gives you the option of oil affecting my rubber properties after vulcanization. Naphthenic oil does not do that. After vulcanization, aromatic oil can influence my properties. Follow. Right. So that is about the hardness specified and with the reference to the carbon black. Okay. Now I take you to so the you can read this chart and if you have any questions you can post your queries. All right, so I don't have to remind you. Right? I take you to materials. Yes. Yeah. So, on the one hand, hydrocarbon rubber, the other extreme is the fluorocarbon rubber. Just take a close look at the certain particulars given in this slide. Uh, we will discuss this. Okay. After this, what is special about this, etc., we will see. Then we look at certain salient features of sulfur accelerator. Okay. Just take a look at this data given. Right. So read the data.